Hello YouTube, this is Shadow Hero 90 and allow me to welcome you to my show, Sexism in Movies and TV. Now there are three reasons as to why I do this show. The first is because as someone who watches TV, and as a man, I really do think I should be able to watch an actual American show without constantly being offended and without feminism being crammed into everything. The second reason is that a lot of these shows are geared towards a younger audience, and it would really be good if anyone from Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon saw this and actually tried to make a decent role model for boys who's not a white knight, a complete sissy, a doormat, or basically someone who is worthy of the title hero. You know, to keep them from turning out like these pricks. Doormats and losers like these chumps. And my third reason for doing this show is because, I'll just say it, they're aimed towards children. And kids are very impressionable. If you put the wrong stuff in a show for kids, it's gonna send a lot of really messed up messages. Like convincing a boy that basically trying to have anything that's meant to be his is somehow a crime, or wanting time to himself is somehow a crime, or basically a little girl being convinced that she can assault neighborhood boys, younger brothers, and any little kid or male who's weaker than her, and that there will be no consequences. In fact, a lot of these shows do teach girls that they can do whatever they want and consequences do not apply to them. So, with that being said, feel free to enjoy the review. Okay, this is the second time I'll be reviewing a Loud House episode. In this case, it's the episode No Such Luck. And like the previous one, last time I reviewed this, Lincoln Loud is essentially going to get torment for wanting time alone. Since when has that been a hate crime, or a crime at all? It's almost as if living with these insane narcissists, and yes, despite what fans think, the Loud girls are crazy. There is no other way to describe it. But yes, in this episode, Lincoln is genuinely upset that he has no free time because most of his time is spent either sacrificing for his jackass sisters or just plain having to show up at one of their events. And when Lincoln Loud thinks that he basically gets the day off from, spending it in the insane asylum, he runs into his older sister Lynn, who's basically an athlete, and when he tells her he wants some time off to, read comics and have some time to himself, she threatens to beat him up with a baseball bat. Unless you don't get it, allow me to translate what fucked up message this sends to little girls. if they have a brother who's younger than them, it's okay to threaten that boy with physical violence if he does not do whatever she wants. I really don't see how Lynn doesn't come off as a bully in this. I mean, if the genders were reversed, yeah, the older brother would look like a fucking bully. But no, she gets off innocent because of her gender. Yeah, Lincoln was there, but so were her parents and her other sisters. For all she knows, well, if there is bad luck, maybe it was caused by the parents, or the twins, or basically someone on her opponent's team has good luck. She doesn't know. After seeing this as an opportunity, Lynn then dances off like an idiot. So anyways, the next morning, Lincoln is reading comics, finally getting some free time, and then in this scene, he basically he claims to be bad luck and plays along just so he can have some free time. And yes, I will admit, Lincoln is basically desperate to do whatever he has to get some time to himself, to do things he enjoys, and I will admit, he is using psychological means to basically scare off his 10 deranged sisters, and it does come. But imagine if this scenario had been reversed. I mean, trust me, if one of Lincoln's sisters was pulling this stunt, I don't think she'd end up getting punished at the end. Because I'm starting to think that Nickelodeon does not value men, or boys, or anything that's not a female. And it shows, since one of the psychos actually managed to tie him up. Basically because she thinks he's bad luck. And this brings us to another scene, which is kind of messed up. This is the first mention of her playing golf. Her thing was that she's obsessed with her boyfriend, and Lisa is the one out of the 10 who would not believe in this, but she eventually does. And after enjoying a lot of time to himself, which, if you're familiar with the show, Lincoln would deserve, his family essentially abandons him because of this bad luck thing, including his moron parents. This is just the beginning of the shit that Lincoln is put through for wanting some time alone. First, the parents don't want anything to do with him. Now, they're excluding him from going to the movies with them. They literally bar him out of his own bedroom. They make him sleep outside, and are basically forcing him to live outside from now on. I mean, I know this is supposed to look like karma, but it doesn't. It just shows what assholes the Loud family is. I mean, I can't believe Lincoln hasn't tried running away at this point. and as someone who is familiar with this show, a lot of the stuff Lincoln learned and sacrificed, he sacrificed a lot for his sisters, and this is what he gets in return. It's kind of a good thing that this show is not more realistic, or else Lincoln would, at the first opportunity, do whatever he can to get as far away from these bitches and that asshole father of his as possible. So, anyways, Lincoln confesses, but surprise, surprise, no one believes him. So, here's the ending. Lincoln shows up in the mascot suit, and Lynn's team wins. So, now Lincoln's family accepts him, but only if he wears that stupid-looking chipmunk costume. And really, what was Lincoln's crime in this episode? What did he do wrong? He just wanted a little time to himself. With 10 sisters, he literally has no time to do anything he enjoys. Even to the fact that he had to stoop down to using psychological warfare to get a little quote-unquote me time, his family treats him like shit over it. You know, if Loud House was more realistic, Lincoln would be in foster care right now. And I did kinda come up with a really good ending for the Loud House when it eventually gets canceled. See this guy, the neighbor? He was basically the focus of the Season 2 premiere that was their Christmas special. And in it was established that he's so grumpy/mean because he comes from a big family like Lincoln Loud does, but he never gets to see him. And this kind of looks like a very good, very likely future for Lincoln Loud, but with one key difference. When Lincoln Loud basically grows up to be an old man who never sees his family, Lincoln would most likely be happy because of all the shit his sisters put him through, how he sacrifices everything for them, and they basically don't really care. Because in many ways, they are abusive.